Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So student, in the previous class, in the chapter that is structure of atom, we were talking about the electronic configuration. We had seen that what is electronic configuration and how electrons are distributed into the different shells. We have seen that why electron, although we know that the different shells, they are having the different capacity to accommodate the maximum number of electron, but why in case of a M shell where it can accommodate 18 electrons, after 8 electrons, the electrons start entering into the N shell. And the reason is that, student, as it starts entering into the M shell after 8 electrons, the M shell energy increases a lot. And obviously because of that, the electrons will start entering into the N shell. So it is because of the energy only that the M shell energy increases a lot, and due to which electron starts entering into the N shell. Now today we will try to start and try to understand with the term valency. Yesterday, student, we have understood here one more thing, and that is what is outermost shell, what is valence shell. I told you the last shell in which the electrons enter, that is the valence shell, and the number of electrons which is present in that of the valence shell is the valence electron only. Now let us try to understand a term, that is valency. What is a valency, student? Basically, valency is what the combining capacity of an atom is called as valency. So in a general term we can say valency is combining capacity of an atom. Combining capacity of an atom is the valency here. Okay, now you see, student, every atom wants to complete its octet. Suppose if we talk about neon. So neon, its atomic number is 18. So here you can see that the atomic number is neon is 18. So electronic configuration will be K and L, where it is having 8 electron in its outermost shell. So the valence electron will be is equals to 8. So how many number of electrons does it need to complete its octet? So octet is already completed, so it do not need an extra amount of an electron, or even it do not want to lose electron. So it do not want to gain electron, it do not want to lose electron in order to complete its octet. It is because it is already completed. The L shell is, the outermost shell is already fulfilled, and because of that only the valency of neon is equals to 0. Similarly, we can take another example like that of a fluorine. So fluorine atomic number is what? That is 9. Now actually here it is not of neon, student, but it is of argon. Now if we take here fluorine, that is 9, so its atomic number will be is 9, so it will be K and L, so it will be 2. Here it will be K, L and M. So outermost shell is not this one, but outermost shell is this. There also the valency will be 0. Now fluorine, its atomic number is 9, so it will be 2, 7. Now you can see here the valence electron is what, student? That is equals to 7. Okay, so how many number of electron does it needed to complete its octet? That is 1. So it will try to gain 1 electron instead of losing all these 7 electron. Okay, it can do both of the thing. Either it can lose electron or it can gain electron. So it will try to gain 1 electron from in its outermost shell in order to complete its octet. So the valency will be the number of electron that is needed by it, that it will gain in order to complete its octet, and that is equals to 1. So here the valency of the fluorine will be equals to 1. We can take a lot of examples are there, students. Suppose I am starting it here with the atomic number 1 to 10. So let me write here the one more definition of valency. The number of electron gained or loses by the number of electron gained or loses by the atom in order to complete its octet is its valency. Now see here, starting from that of the hydrogen. So hydrogen is having atomic number 1. So here, since it needed one more electron to complete its duplet, so the valency here, it will be also equals to 1. Now in case of a helium, you can see the atomic number is 2. So it do not need any kind of, while in case of a helium, student, you can see that its duplet is completed. When you look at the electronic configuration, it will be what? K is equals to 2. And we know that K can accommodate only 2 electrons. That is why here its duplet is completed. Thus, it do not need to complete its duplet. Ultimately, its valency will be 0. So, its valency will be equals to 0, students. Now, let us see some more elements and its valency. So, if we talk about lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Let me write it in a first of all, we can write here the elements, then atomic number, actually not atomic number but valence electron. It's a valence electron, and then valency. I hope now it will be very much easier for us to understand. Beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and then neon. Now you see here, what is the atomic number of a beryllium, student? I have forgot to take one more element, and that is lithium. Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. So, lithium atomic number is 3. So, obviously its valence electron will be 1, 2 and 1. Electronic configuration will be 2 and 1. So, number of a valence electron will be here 1. While in case of a beryllium, it is 2, 2 because its atomic number is 4. So, electronic configuration will be 2, 2. So, number of electrons present in the outermost shell is 2. So, valence electron here 2. While in case of a boron, it is 2, 3. So, valence electron will be 3 here. In carbon, it is 2, 4. So, valence electron will be 4 here. In nitrogen, it is 2, 5. So, valence electron will be 5. In oxygen, it is 2, 6. Valence electron will be 6. In fluorine, it is 2, 7. Valence electron will be 7. And in neon, valence electron will be 8. Okay. Now, this is how from lithium to neon, the valence electrons are there. According to their atomic number, you will find that this is the valence electron. Now, we have to find out the valency of each of them. We know that the number of electron needed for them to complete its octet, it can either lose the electron, it can either gain the electron, and with the help of which we are able to get the valency. Now see here. Here, lithium, it is having only one electron in its valence shell. So it wants to lose this electron. Ultimately, its valency will be equals to 1. While in case of beryllium, it is having 2 electron in its outermost shell. So this one also wants to lose the electron. So here also the valency will be equals to 2. In case of a boron, it is having 3 electron. Again, it wants to lose the electron. So this time its valency will be equals to 3. In case of a carbon either it lose 4 electron or it gain 4 electron. So its valency will be 4. Now, what happened in case of a nitrogen? The valence electron is 5 here. How many electrons does it need to complete its octet? That is 3. Okay. So, it will not going to try to lose all the 5 electron. Instead of that, it will try to gain the 3 electrons. Ultimately, its valency will be equals to 3. Similarly, if we talk about the oxygen, it is having 6 electron in its valence shell. So, valence electron is 6 here. 2 more electron is needed to complete its octet. So, its valency will be equals to 2. In fluorine, the valence electron is 7, so it need only 1 electron to complete its octet, so valency will be 1. And in case of a neon, the outermost shell is already fulfilled, so you do not want to lose or gain electron, and valency will be equals to 0. Now look at here. The valency is, first of all, it increases and then it decreases. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 3, 2, 1, 0. Like that the valency will be there. So with the help of which, and when you look at the valence electron, with the help of which we also came to a conclusion, and that is when the valence electron of any of the atom is less than 4. If the valence electron of any atom is less than or less or equal to 4, valence electron as well as valency will remain same. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to here, number of valence electron and number of valency, that was same. So, equal, then valence electron will be equal to the valency. Valence electron will be equal to the valency. But as the valence electron increases by 4, at that time if the valence electron of any atom is more than 4, then valency will be equals to 8 minus number of valence electron. Eight minus number of valence electron. This formula we will use when the valency is more, when the valence electron is more than that of 4. Now you can take any of the example. Here the valence electron is 5. So 8 minus 5 is equals to 3. Valency will be 3. Here valence electron is 7. So 8 minus 7, 1. So valency will be 1 here. Here the valence electron is 8. So 8 minus 8, 0. So valence electron will be equals to 0. The valency will be 0. This is how we can find the valency. Now let us move on and see atomic number and mass number. Atomic number and mass number. Let me tell you what is atomic number. Actually, atomic number is equals to number of proton present in the atom. Present in the atom, and number of proton is equals to number of electrons. This is atomic number. And one more thing is there, student, and that is atomic number. It is represented by Z. Now suppose if sodium is there. So what is the atomic number? What is the atomic number here? It is 23. Atomic number is 23. It means number of proton is equals to 23, because 23 is what? It's atomic number. And if number of proton is equal to 23, so number of electron will also be equals to 23. So if you are knowing the atomic number, it will be very easy for us to find the number of proton as well as number of electrons. Okay. Now let us move on and see another example. Like if we take an example of a chlorine. So chlorine is what? Its atomic number is 17. So number of proton will be equals to 17, as well as number of electrons will also be equals to 17. So atomic number is nothing but that is equals to number of proton. Here the question arises that why we are not saying that atomic number is equals to number of electron, because the students, you know that electron can be loose or gained by the atom, but protons, it always remain fixed, it always remains same. That is why atomic number is equals to number of proton rather than number of electron. Okay, so we can say here that suppose what happened here, chlorine is 17, its electronic configuration is 287. How many electrons does it need to complete its octet? That is 1. So when it will gain 1 electron, this will become 17 plus 1, 18. But number of proton will remain the same, because it only gains an electron, do not gains proton. Understood? So it will be 17 plus 1, that is equals to 18. But the number of proton will always equal to 17. I'll make you to understand here in a better manner, and that is like in case of a chlorine only, student, chlorine is equals to 70. This is what this will be equals to. How many number of proton? Number of proton is equals to 17, and number of electron will also equals to 17. This is what, this is the chlorine atom. What about chloride ion? Chloride ion atomic number is equals to 17 only. It means here the number of proton is equals to 17, but the number of electron, this is a negative charge, it means it has accepted one more electron. So number of electron will be equals to 80. This is what, this is for chloride ion. It is because of that only, students. Now chloride ion number of electron 18, but in case of a chlorine atom it is 17. It is because of that only we always say that atomic number is equals to number of proton present, because the proton never changes, it remains fixed. Now let us see in another one, and that is mass number. So, mass number. In case of a mass number is equals to number of proton plus number of neutrons. Number of protons plus number of neutrons, that is equals to mass number. So, if suppose in case of a sodium itself, we know that the mass number, if suppose here, if we will say that number of proton is equals to 11, while the number of neutron is equals to 12. So what will be its mass number? So you will say that mass number will be equals to number of proton is 11 and mass of neutron, number of proton is 12. So this will be equal to 23. So mass number will be equal to 23. Question can be asked in such a way that if the mass number of a sodium is 23, so what will be the number of neutron here? So it is 23, mass number is 23 is equals to number of proton is equals to its atomic number, and atomic number of sodium is 11 plus number of neutron. Now you can see here it will becomes, this 11 will comes to this side, so 23 minus 11 is equals to number of neutron, and ultimately number of neutron will be equals to 2. This is how we are able to find the number of proton, number of neutron and number of electron from a given number, given atom. Okay. How to represent the mass number and that of the atomic number of an atom. So if X is what? That is an atom. And we want to represent the mass number and atomic number. So it will be represented at the upper side mass number, at the lower side atomic number. And here it is represented by symbol. So X, mass number is represented by A and atomic number is represented by Z. So this is how we can represent an element like this. Like if we talk about the sodium itself, its mass number is 23 and our atomic number is 11. This is how we used to represent an atom with its symbol and its atomic or mass number. So this is about the atomic number and mass number. Now you see here students, we will move on and see another topic, and that is isotopes and isobars. Isotopes. Isotopes are what? These are the atoms which is having the same atomic number but different mass number. So in nature, the number of atoms of the same elements, it can be identified. Like in case of oxygen only, students. So oxygen exists in a mass number 16 as well as 18. Carbon exists in mass number 12. Carbon also exists in carbon 14. Then chlorine is also there. Chlorine exists in chlorine 35 and chlorine 37. Hydrogen, it exists in 1. Hydrogen exists in 2. Hydrogen exists in 3. So here you can see that same element is there, but their atomic mass their mass number differ from each other. So on the basis of that, we can define isotopes. That isotopes are what? These are those elements which is having same atomic number but different mass number. Same atomic number but different mass number. This is of isotope. Now isotopes, they are having the different same element having the different masses. So obviously their use are also different. Yes, the applications varies with the element to element, since the chemical properties of the isotopes are same. So normally we are concerned that what are the special properties of these isotopes. So here some of the examples are there, like it is used for the treatment of cancer, it is used for carbon dating in order to find the ages of fossils, it is also used in nuclear reactor, it is used in treating the deficiency diseases. So talking about the first one, so an isotope of uranium. Isotopes of is used as a nuclear fuel. Then an isotopes of iodine used to treat goiter. Isotope of cobalt used in the treatment of cancer. Then isotope of carbon used in the treatment of used in carbon dating. Used in carbon dating. So this is what, student, this is about the isotopes. Like isotopes, there are some other which is also called as isobars. What is there in case of a isobars? So here it is just opposite of that of the isotopes. It means having different atomic number but same atomic mass. So, isobars having elements having different atomic number but same mass number. But same mass number. Having different atomic number but same mass number, that is isobars. Now you see the example is argon, that atomic number is 18, while calcium, whose atomic number is 20. But when you look, the mass number, it is equals to 40. Here also the mass number is equals to 40. So you can see here that they are, both of them are having the different atomic number but same mass number. Okay, so this is the basic difference between that of the isotopes or isobars, students. So we have understood here isotopes, basically they are having the same atomic number but different mass number. In case of isobars, they are having the different atomic number, but yes, they are having the similar mass number. So their properties will also, chemical properties will also be similar.